Hello, McCastle here, and welcome to another Create Mod Spotlight. Today we're going to look at the Create Vintage Improvements mod, which adds quite a few different machines for different recipes. Now, a lot of the stuff that it adds here is compatibility with a few different mods. I think there's a lot of potential here for mod pack creators. It kind of gives me those create above and beyond vibes. I never played Create Above and Beyond, and it might actually be in there, but it gives a few machines that would create a lot of potential for custom recipes and custom things like that. Some of the stuff in here doesn't actually have any function. I think it really kind of was created for that kind of mindset. So let's take a look and see what it does add, and we'll talk about the different things it can do. So first off, it has some pretty good native compatibility with Create's Craft and Additions, as well as addon, which is an interesting combination, which again kind of gives that Create Above and Beyond, which I really probably should look it up. It might be a core component in that. But the first thing it does is it creates the recipe for creating different rods. As you can see here, it's got some addon metals and stuff in here. So rods can be created with running ingots through the rolling mill, which again is from Create's Crafts and Additions. And if you have addon installed, which I don't, you will actually see these recipes as well. And then it also allows these to be created using the plates from addon as well. Adds those recipes in there as well. If you take sheets and run it through the rolling mill, again, you'll be able to get wires. And some of these aren't actually craftable because I don't have addon installed and don't have any actual function yet. So again, if you have a custom mod pack and you want to create custom recipes for different progression and stuff like that, this might actually be very useful. To do these springs, you need this spring coiling machine, which you need to first make this spring coiling wheel, which is just an iron block with 4 andesite alloy. Man, I really struggle with that one. And then the machine is just crafted with an andesite casing, a shaft, 2 iron ingots, and a spring coiling wheel. It gives you this. So power from behind. Here's the iron wire and iron rod added by the Create's Craft and Addition. If I just throw it on top there, it'll work its magic. Spin it around and shoot it out. And then the same with the wire will give us the small variant. See, it coils it out the front. That's pretty cool animation. And again, we're going to use the small ones, don't have any uses as of yet. The large ones, these iron springs, we're actually use in the different machines we're going to take a look at here in a minute. But before we get to those machines, let's take a look at this belt grinder, which is pretty awesome. So if we take 9 sandpaper, do them in a circle, or sorry, I said 9, 8 sandpaper in a circle, you're going to get this grinder belt, which with a andesite casing and a shaft, you'll be able to create the belt grinder, which allows you to automate the grinding of polished quartz. Now, it also allows you for any other custom recipes. Like I said, if there's anything else that uses the sandpaper and is tagged with grinding, it should automatically work with this. But again, you can create different custom recipes and things like that. Now, this does require the speed to be, I believe, 60. What are we at? 16. If we notice, if we take this too high, let's see if 32 works. See, it doesn't actually get done. So it actually requires this to be slower, which I think is a pretty cool mechanic, that if you have it way too high, it just kind of speeds through and doesn't get done in time. Anyway, cool little feature. Really like this. I'll add this mod almost just for this, so I can automate the creation without having to do the deployers. Because again, this doesn't use up the wheel. With 9 sandpaper, then I'll have to keep crafting sandpaper, or put unbreaking on it or whatever. The next, we're going to look at this vibrating table, which is pretty cool. And it's crafted just using a mechanical piston, slab of any wood type, and then 4 of these springs. Now, what it does is it basically unpacks things. So, for example, if I put iron block on there, I'll get 9 iron ingots. This works for any of those kind of compacting things, raw iron, all that kind of stuff. And then additionally, if you place leaves on there, okay, there we go, we got one. So this actually is supposed to use the leaves as if it's got Fortune 3 on it. So gives you a lot higher chance of getting the saplings, I believe, than if you're just breaking it. Oh, and an apple. There we go. But if you have a farm that picks up your leaves, you could do this instead, and maybe you get a better chance of higher drops. Next, we're going to look at the vacuum chamber, which I think is a pretty cool block. And again, a lot of cool potential for different recipes you could customize in here. Currently, it only has one, and we're going to take a look at that. But it's a mechanical pump, andesite casing on top, 2 springs, and 2 andesite alloys. And if placed above a basin, if we add a snow block and a bucket, come on, it'll do its thing eventually. Oh, concrete. I picked the wrong thing. Helps if you put the right thing in there. So let's try that again. Snow and bucket. It'll go suck down. And when it comes out, it will have powder snow. Now it takes a little bit of time. And there we go. So a cool way of creating powdered snow. If you can't find any or whatever, you can use the snow golems to create snowballs, which this can turn snow into snowballs too, but I don't know why you need to do that. But you create an automatic system to collect the snowballs from the snow golem, turn them to this, and then you could suck them up with these buckets to create powdered snow instead of having to go find your own. Right, so pretty cool feature there. That is the only one it kind of adds by default, but again, pretty cool mechanic, and there's a ton of potential for mod packs and stuff like that. Next, we're going to take a look at the curving press, and it is just a mechanical press with 3 iron like that. And what it does is it allows you to take iron ingots or iron plates and press it into a bucket, which is awesome because that's a lot cheaper recipe than, say, if you're doing traditional. So at the cost of 3 iron, you can create a lot of buckets really cheap. And if we take a look here at the different recipes that it provides, we've got an iron ingot for a bucket, a piece of glass for a glass bottle, a brick to a flower pot. You can create copycat catwalks out of just a copycat board, and then a bowl out of wood. And additionally, you can use an iron sheet instead of an iron ingot for a bucket as well. The last machine that it actually adds here is the centrifuge, which is a pretty interesting one. And again, I think these are great for mod pack creators to do some pretty custom stuff. But if we take a look at here, it's an andesite casing, 2 logs of any kind, and then 4 springs surrounded by a shaft. Now this can be powered from above or below. It's got a weird visual glitch when you do it from above, but that's okay. And then it has to have a certain speed requirement for it to work. It actually requires 4 basins to work as well, and the basins can only be added, as well as ingredients only added, when it's stopped. And you just click on it like that. Now what this does is it separates out stuff. So if we take this here and we take a look at its different recipes, so it can separate out magenta dye into pink and purple, gray dye into black, white, right? So the different colored dyes you can separate onto its different components. You can also take magma cream and turn it back into slime balls and blaze powder, which is awesome. And then Eye of Ender back into ender pearls and blaze. And then mud blocks actually can separate back out into dirt and water. And then more dye recipes, right? So I've got this turned off, but if we turn this on, oh, we gotta add it before. Sorry. Oh, never mind. It's got it in there. Okay. We spin it. See, we've got an Eye of Ender. And there we go. We can turn that off, and we can pull out our different components. Now, same here. You can put in some of those, spin it, and we'll get our slime balls and blaze powders. I really think this is if I was creating a custom mod pack and wanted to create some different recipes and things that had to go along, I think this is a pretty powerful, another powerful machine for that. There you go. That is all for this mod. There's not a ton in here, but I think it, again, has a lot of potential, especially if you're doing those kind of things. But I think for that billet grinder over there alone, I might add this in there, and then also for some cheap buckets. So appreciate you guys for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to put a comment below. And then if you guys have any other create add-ons or mods you want me to look at, also comment. This one was actually suggested by SigmaBean2463. So thanks for the suggestion. Really cool mod. And again, feel free to ask any questions or suggest anything in the comments below. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.